morning this morning. Nothing special. I did drink the hydrogen water already, so this is part of my protocol. I always want to clean my mouth first with no toothpaste. Brush the inner linings of the mouth, the roof, the tongue, and then brush your teeth real quick. And then I come up and I've been really busy though with work, so I've been on this phone constantly, so I couldn't get this thing going. But I still don't have my powder, but it is. I finally got the email that says that they're shipping it to me, and boy, I miss it. I gotta say, I am definitely missing my period powder. I mean, this one's all right, and this is just, I gotta go get some type of backup because I really need something when I don't have enough of the Purium stuff. All right, I'm putting some raw cacao in here. Raw cacao, obviously extremely good for you. And when I can find it organic like this one, then I use it. Okay, those are the powders for today. Nothing super crazy. The good news is that I'm already loaded up on nutrients in my body. So going without the powder for, 3, 4 days is not a big deal. But I am really missing it. It's starting to make me wonder what I'm going to have to do when I move. I have to figure out how to get these nutritional powders because they really, for me, they really do make a difference. I love the fruits and the vegetables quite a bit, but I don't think that it's enough without the nutritional powder. No matter how much stuff I put in here, those nutrients superfood powders, but I'm picky about the brand, as you guys probably know. I looked at the nutritional content too. I look at the ingredients and nutritional content, and yeah, definitely, definitely like those. Definitely like them. I've been using them for so long, and like I said, I'll have to get some type of backup or something, and I'm gonna have to figure out wherever I go. Um, wherever I go, to be able to have access to them. But yeah, so I did 1 liter, maybe a splash more of the hydrogen water this morning, and that's what I did. And now let's make the magic smoothie. I mean, it still has a ton of nutrients. I mean, it's not like it doesn't have nutrients or anything. I'm just being a little baby about it because I'm like, I need all my nutrients. I want more. But you know what? There's a lot of stuff we're going to put in here today, as I usually do. So let's go with that. Got so many ingredients to grab here. Okay, there we are. Today's going to be a pretty decent smoothie, actually. I got a lot going on today, too. Work has been crazy. Numerous people who are, dare I say, sick contacting me. Everybody wants help, which, it's hard for me to be that person. It's funny, these people tell me how they call their doctors when they're sick or have issues. And boy, they said it's terrible service. That's what they're telling me. They're like, just nobody gets back to me. That's what I'm being told by different people contacting me. And, everybody just seems so busy. Life is tough right now, isn't it? Okay, so first things first. You know what? I'm going to try to use up some of these. Let's do this. These are some leftover beet leaves. And I'm going to pick out some good ones here and just use them up. I don't like to waste anything, and there are definitely some really good health benefits to these beet leaves. So normally, if I was to be cooking, and I'm not much of a cook, I would actually want to put them in curry. And let's see here, curry. I love coconut curry. I really do. I love that stuff. The weird part is that if I heat up even the coconut cream in it, I do get a little weird effect from it, which is really weird. I'm very sensitive to heated oils. I don't know what is going on with me. I've been this way for a very long time, though I didn't notice that that's what it was for a long time. And boy, do I break out with acne. It's terrible. But I don't need a lot of heated oils now. And with the hydrogen, the water consumption, the cleaner diet, it was crazy. All my acne went away. And that was super nice. There's so many kids, this is my view. Okay, I'm just gonna share this with you guys. I don't know if I should. I am definitely not getting political, and as always, I'm not giving you any medical advice, certainly, and I'm certainly not making any medical claims. But in my opinion, so these are my opinions on this. See, I was talking to somebody I don't even know who it was, but I was somebody recently. We were talking about how young people will just do whatever, right? I think it was one of my friends actually. Now that I'm remembering, one of his kids is overweight and whatever. So the thing is that I was thinking about how when you're young, in my opinion, again, this is completely my opinion, I look at it very differently than other people, and I'm seeing other people's perspectives. And personally, I love to see other people's perspectives. I want to see every perspective possible. I did the same thing with health. I mean, I tried everything, guys. I really did. I've tried, the whole like, oh, just carnivore diet, or no sugar at all, and nothing but raw food. I mean, I've just tried so many things for so many years. This is why I kind of fine tuned, because for me, I was so sick that you know if you found the answer, clearly you'd know what's working and what isn't. And actually, like I said, following scientific data and applying it in my daily life is what apparently worked the best, because it really, some of the stuff that I would read, I'm like, there's no way this is going to work. Put it to the test, ended up working. But anyway, so thinking about youth, so here I'm talking to a friend of mine about his kid, and it's funny, he's like, he's young, you know, he can eat whatever. He can eat, French toast and pizzas and drink soda pop and whatever. And see what I'm thinking is, because he's like, his body's young, he can tolerate it. My friend is just considering maybe trying to be a little healthier, because he's like, what is he now? Mid late 50s, whatever it is. And we've been friends for a very long time. And the thing is he was talking about his wife and how his wife just doesn't want to do anything to really improve her health. He's like, she's kind of lazy about it, doesn't want to make any changes, blah, 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 right? And so he's telling me about this, but the way that I view it is so different. The way that I view it, and I'm going to use a really dumb analogy, I'm going to use a car as an analogy. So you get a brand new car and the car's all perfect, and then you're like, you know what, the car's perfect, I don't need to take care of it. It's perfect. What do I need to clean it and take care of it and change the oil? It's all like brand new. But then the car gets all run down, and by the time it gets run down, there's no real fixing it. And for me, in my opinion, when you're young, and this is why, to be honest, it's a little bit of a heartbreaker for me, but I try not to let it get to me. I really wish that I would have known better, or that somebody would have educated me on it, because I would have loved to start taking care of myself from a younger age. That's what I would have liked to have done. I don't think, oh, I'm young, therefore I can just drink nothing but soda pop and Twinkies. No way. That's not what I want to do. I want to take care of my pancreas. I want to take care of my liver. I want to take care of my kidneys. I want to take care of my body so that when I get older, I still feel fantastic. You know what I mean? The good thing is the body does, certain aspects of it does regenerate. Some things don't. And so you have to, again, you take care of yourself, the best you can. Kind of like your teeth. Once your teeth are gone, they're gone. That's it. Once you've screwed those up, there is no turning back. Yeah, they can do implants and they can try to make them look pretty or real. But anyway, so with the youth, I don't look at it as like, oh, they can do whatever, they're young. I think that it's a time in life to be treasured and really care for yourself and build up. It's like a tree. It's like you want to build it up from the beginning, a good healthy foundation. In fact, I did a whole video and I'm going to redo it. I actually deleted it. It was about water, and I don't know why I deleted it. I felt like it was too long, and I was too long-winded. I just need to make it more simple and whatever. But I'm going to be doing most likely that, or I could just re-release the one I did, but I just felt like, Anyway, the point is, what I was reading about water, and this is important, and there's almost nobody in this room right now, but let me tell you how important this is. In fact, you know what? Comment below. Let's see how many of you guys would know the answer, because I guess I would have known the answer, but I didn't really think about it much. Who is the most susceptible to contaminants in the water? Who is going to be the most susceptible? Go ahead and comment below. Tell me who you think would be the most susceptible to contaminants in our water. Okay, put some ginger in there. I got some soaked hydrogen raisins in here. Gonna go ahead and pour those in there. Who do you think is the most susceptible to the contaminants? Because I mean, there's a lot of contaminants. I guess I would have just originally thought, well, we're all susceptible to them, is what I thought. But there's more than just that. Okay, now I got soaked walnuts, anti-cancerous, by the way. There's been studies on it. It's the reason that I'm using walnuts, organic ones, of course, and soaked in hydrogen water to make them special, enhance the properties. I believe that hydrogen enhances the properties because I have seen some preliminary data on it. I'm like, you know what? Everybody's missing the boat. I'm going to do this way ahead of everybody, which is typically what I've been doing for a large part of my life. I tend to be kind of ahead of the curve. I don't know why. I think I just end up stumbling upon data. Sometimes it's gut instinct too, though. Just depends. But yeah, definitely want to soak my fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whatever I can in the hydrogen water when I can. Sometimes it's kind of tough. Can't always do it. So yeah, who is most susceptible to contaminants in the water? Anybody? Anybody? Let me go check your comments, see if anybody actually said anything. Babies. There you go. You're absolutely right, Ramona. It's the babies, the little kids, they're the ones who are the most susceptible. So when you hear people saying, they're young, oh, by the way, next ingredient is going to be natto. Natto is very special. I could go into all the special reasons of it. I'm going to guess you guys already know if you've been watching my videos, because I've done this every single day practically. But yes, it's the babies, guys. These poor babies. I mean, no joke. Think about this. Think about this for a second. And I'm just trying to I'm not saying this is true. Okay. I'm just thinking out loud here. Have you ever heard of sudden infant death syndrome? I mean, have you ever seen people, and I have, I'll see people take some tap water, maybe just filtered water from the refrigerator, which, by the way, I hate to say it, is lousy. That's not nearly good enough, okay? Not to my standard, at least, but I don't think if you knew what was in the water, it'd be up to your standard either. It's just that it's a lack of knowledge, right? So here's the thing. You have babies, and then you put, some type of tap water or refrigerator water. Let's activate the natto, by the way, by stirring it, 100 times. And then you put some formula in it, and God knows what's in these formulas. We've already seen that there's been recalls, and they've found rocket fuel, and I mean, crazy stuff in these formulas. I mean, there's stuff. That's why I don't like processed food a lot. This is why if you look at everything that I'm doing, none of this is processed food. All this is just, if you look at the ingredients, you'll see walnuts. If you see the ingredients, it's just vegetables, greens, or raisins. There's no other ingredients in this stuff that I use. This is just natural food. And so, what if these babies are being, look, I'm not saying that this is the case, okay? I'm sure there's many reasons why there's sudden infant death syndrome. And it's not just when the baby is already born. In the mother, whatever the mother's consuming, what kind of water is she drinking? What is she taking? What is she going through? And deficiencies, by the way, that's a huge one. Nutritional deficiencies when your body is trying to build a baby inside of you. Let me tell you something, guys. I don't know how much you understand about this, but did you know that there could be a potential correlation between deficiencies in the mother, and that's when women sometimes have miscarriages. This is why they prescribe a prenatal multivitamin. But as you guys probably well know, at least in my opinion, those prenatals are not going to be as good as, well, okay, now I'm being boastful. I'm not trying to boast here, but in my opinion, these smoothies that I make, now granted today I don't have the powder that I really want, because that powder is going to be important, and the purity of it, and this is why I use it. It's like a multivitamin from food, right? But what I'll say is, making sure you have all your nutrients, have everything as clean as possible, make these babies, great again. Just make sure, that they're getting all the nutrients that they really need. And then once they are born, you know, extremely clean water, guys. Come on. We gotta love the youth. We gotta love the future of society. And I personally have seen things that are, I think we're all seeing this stuff. I mean, kids at schools doing things that, they probably shouldn't be doing. By the way, blueberries, anti-cancer, it's good for your vascular system, whatever. We need to treat the children better, not just say, well, they're young, they'll be fine. Because I'll tell you one thing. I was very shocked and impressed, and hopefully in the future I'll bring more information about this. But I gotta tell you, the way they treat a lot of the children in Japan, oh my goodness, blew me away. And I'm talking like years ago, because it's been quite a while since I've been able to be in Japan. Um, you know, but, oh, by the way, as I go on, I like to add the hydrogen water. And actually, let me check real quick. There's something else I might add in here. I might add a little bit of coconut cream. Just got to make sure it's still good. Yeah, it seems good. Okay, just a little bit, not a ton, because I added too much last time and it was not the most pleasant experience when I have too much of it. But when you just have a little bit of it, it's like putting a little, I don't use butter on toast or anything, but if you put a little butter on toast, it might be good, but if you put way too much, it's no fun to just eat butter. Yuck. So, okay, there's a little splash of coconut cream. So the way they were treating kids in Japan, it was blowing my mind. I mean, really, truly blowing my mind. Do you guys realize that in Japanese schools, they have, first of all, they don't even have any janitors. Were you guys aware of this? They don't even have janitors in school. And you're like, why wouldn't they have janitors? Well, see, they want to teach kids self-reliance, self-responsibility. And the kids are the janitors. After school, everybody cleans up the school and whatnot, you know. And they also have a nutritionist at school. So they make these kids, I mean, if you were to compare American school meals that the schools make for kids and compare to, what America does and what Japan does, it's night and day. The Japanese have a very, very clear idea. By the way, this is some turmeric, whatever. Everybody pronounces it a little differently. And, you know, in Japanese culture, children are like a treasure, guys. And see, that's the way that I kind of learned through my journey, that we should treasure our bodies from the moment we are young. Proper exercise, proper education, proper food, super clean stuff. I mean, we shouldn't be having, and I've seen this, vending machines in school with soda pop. It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, we're loading up these kids on sugar. God knows what it does. Did you know we're consuming not double the amount of sugar, not triple, not quadruple. This is going to blow your mind. 100 times more sugar than we did roughly 90 to 100 years ago. We are consuming 100. And you know what's funny? I was actually talking to somebody the other day about this, because myself, guys, I was apparently delusional. And I'm really, really honest with myself about things. And maybe I wasn't totally delusional, but I had a little bit of a revelation. Um, I apparently was addicted to sugar, and I didn't even really realize it. I just thought it was normal that I would eat a certain level of carbs and sugars. But what I didn't realize is, by going through this whole process that I've been going through of trying to improve my health, mostly because I was so sick, and basically probably wouldn't even be alive right now had I not changed my life. And what I realized just recently, because I could feel it, I am no longer officially addicted to sugar. And that was pretty shocking to me, because I'm just realizing my beats are downstairs. You guys are going to have to either follow me or let's see, babies. Yes, now it's sudden adult death. Yep. What size machine is your water distiller? I use goat butter on my toast. Goat butter. Whoa. So my distiller is this one. It does 1 gallon at a time. to answer, who was it, Sonji's question. Okay, so I'm going to keep you guys on mic, but I'm going to go grab my beats. So, anywho, I think that the human body is something to be treasured at a young age. From the moment it's inside the mother's womb, start giving it all the nutrients it needs. And I don't think, what's funny is that we tend to, everything is valued in society as far as like number one, not number two, not number three. Oh boy. Oh boy. What in the world just happened? Okay. I'm like I'm like, wait a second, where are my beats? There's no way they just disappeared. But you know what I just realized? Because I think I just remember where I put them. I didn't have room in the fridge. So I put them in a different area of the fridge anyway. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that I don't think that we value the children enough. And I say enough. Okay. It's funny that what are they was saying on these news channels or whatever? There was like, do it for the children this, the children that. But you know what? Empty words, my friends. I'm so sorry. We say we're doing it for them, but I feel like we're not. Everything to me that I've noticed, at least in America, and this probably goes in a lot of places around the world, and there's for a reason for it, and I won't go into the reasons why, but everything is always about the money, always about the economy, always about business. We put that above all, and if it's good business to sell kids sugar, then we sell kids sugar. And it's like, you know what, guys? I don't think it should be that way. I just really, really think that happiness is one of the most important things in life. And the problem is sometimes when we want something like, hey, I want to be happy, we don't know the avenue. And this has been a very long road for me to figure this out. You don't really know exactly what's going to bring that happiness. You think you do. You're like, oh, Ferrari will do it. Then you get a Ferrari and you're like, okay, that wasn't enough. This new house will do it. Then you get a new house and then you're like, yeah, it's cool, but I want a bigger one, and no, it'll be a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a baby. And then you get it and life is just harder or things are not going well. You don't even know what will bring you happiness. Now, my journey, not to go too much into my journey here. It's like me, my life. But I mean, one of the things that I've been looking for so long, since I was very little, is literally just that. Been looking for happiness, guys. Did you guys see the latest number about the amount of people on antidepressants? Oh my goodness. It's pretty clear to me that people are not happy. And that's because what we are doing is not serving us. What we are doing is not working. Sorry to say, it ain't working. So at some point we need to kind of look, I don't know, you could say in the mirror, but at some point you're going to have to take some level of responsibility and be like, okay, what exactly am I doing? Now, granted, it's highly influenced by society and the system, which really sucks because the majority of what I do, I wouldn't say everything, but the majority of what I do, I highly, highly have to go against the grain because I have to not buy processed food. I mean, I go to the grocery store, guys. Let me tell you something. I literally cannot eat easily over 90% of the stuff in the grocery store. That makes it very difficult. Everything I have to do, is like this. Look at this. I mean, I have to just buy the raw material, just some fruits and vegetables, some nuts and seeds, which reminds me I got to go buy flax seeds. I'm out. And I just really believe, I mean, I'm not trying to get preachy or anything, but I just really, I really love humans and people, and I want the best for them, and I want to see them happy, and I don't want to see them hurting each other. I don't want to see them suffering all the time, which is what I tend to see quite often. And I really think that it starts when you're young and people, I don't even want to say, I don't want to blame it on anybody. I never really play the blame game much. It's just not something that I do. And so it's not like I want to blame it on, oh, it's the parents' fault. Well, okay, no, it's a school's fault, it's a system's fault, and there's a lot of things that are not helping, really. There's a lot of things that aren't helping. And I wish that I really do wish we could do better for these poor kids. And I just wish had known better. I really wish I would have started this way earlier. You know, sometimes I don't know. You guys probably never do this, but comment if you'd have, because I'm being a silly guy now. I think about it way too much, way too much. I'm always thinking like, what if I could go back in time? Would I go back in time? What age would I want to go back to? You know, would I want to go back to being 10 years old again or 5 years old? And you know, I totally would want to go back. You know, and I was imagining, I have this silly imagination. When I'm a kid, I'm imagining that like as a kid and my mother being like, hey, you know, what do you want for your birthday or something like that. And I'm like, Mom, I want a blender. She's like, a blender? Yeah, I want a really heavy duty blender. I'd be like, why would a 5-year-old want a blender? Like, I'd be getting my little stool and I'd be making these smoothies and I'd be doing it, guys. You know, I really would. This is, you know, I really have learned what I've learned. And this is just what I learned. Doesn't mean that anybody has to agree with me or whatever. I've learned one, happiness is top of my list, crucially important. The things that make you happy, though, are not the things that you think will. So always be cautious of that. Don't think that stuff is going to make you happy. You know, having a well balanced body and health and not being in pain and your body running on all cylinders, is it going to make you happy? Not necessarily. I mean, you could still do all those and feel, you know, alone and miserable. But it's definitely foundational. Kind of like clean water. Like here, let's talk about clean water for a second. Is clean water going to fix all your health problems? In my opinion, no, probably not. It depends on the problem that you're having. But is it still important as a foundational piece? It is absolutely foundational to have clean water. I mean, it's just foundational. You got to do it one way or another, no matter what direction you choose to go in life. As far as your health, your happiness, you're going to need clean water. And that's just my opinion. Same thing with overconsumption of sugar. You know, the sugar is the funny one because you think it makes you happy, but that's the addiction, right? You think that that cigarette will make you happy. You smoke the cigarette. Ooh, I'm at peace for a moment, but then obviously hours later or whenever you're like, I got to have another one, you know, and it never ends. And that has to me never been true happiness. That's been my observation. Because when I was younger, I won't go into the things that I used to do, but I used to do some things to myself that were not good because again, I was looking for happiness. I would, you know, eat certain things, do certain just bad habits and things that I would do thinking that it was happiness. But I noticed at a very young age, I'm like, you know, I keep doing this and it only makes me happy temporarily. And I realized that temporary happiness, in my opinion, is not true happiness. That's my own opinion. That's just, again, my own opinion. You know, I think that I need something more permanent, more foundational, good habits. You know, the funny thing about these smoothies is I have friends that tell me, like, dude, you're crazy. Like, how in the world are you going to be making a smoothie every single day? And they'll see me, they'll come over or something, or they'll call me, or I do work with different friends. And so some of these people I work with are friends of mine, and they'll call me and they're like, they'll hear the noise in the background. Something like, what are you doing? It's noisy. I said, I'm making my smoothie. Like, oh, your smoothie, you and your smoothie, you know. Like, you're still doing that? I'm like, still doing it? Yeah, dude, it's what I eat for breakfast. I mean, what else am I going to do? And they're just like, man, I just don't know how you can keep up with that. But, you know, once it becomes a routine, this is one of the reasons that, well, I don't dislike America. I love America, but there's things that I just can't get. There's a lifestyle that I just can't quite have here. If I want to take my, you could say my health. I mean, I'm not saying I want to do some things, guys, and the things that I want to do, yeah, they're more extreme than others. And look, why do I want to do it? I don't even know if I should tell you why, actually, because it's not like there's that many people in the room, right? It's not like we have thousands of people listening, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But all I can tell you is this. I'll tell you this. I guess I'll answer that question if you guys are even particularly curious. Not that it matters really, but I'll just say that on this journey of sickness and back to health, I never realized how important, the level of importance of this human body. Now, let me give you an example. Okay, now this is not religion, just before we kind of get on a really spiritual, weird little path here. This is not about religion, but I will tell you, as people know, there's ancient writings, scriptures that say that the body is the temple of God. You know, well, guys, in the past, would I've been like, okay, what do you mean the temple? Like, we don't even understand what the word temple really means. It means it's his house, right? God's house. And of course, me with my skeptical mind as I am, I'd probably be like, well, okay, the human body is the house of God. Like, come on. He's not, I mean, he's living in this thing. It's like, put two and two together. Do you really think that it'd be like, well, is it okay to put Twinkies in his house? I mean, does it matter? It shouldn't matter, right? It's no big deal. I drink a soda, eat some garbage food. Does it really matter? Well, guys, again, not to get off this weird tangent, I probably shouldn't even go this direction, so I should finish this conversation real fast. But I learned when I was trying to get better by eating extremely healthy, purifying this body, doing the best that I could do just to try to get healthy. I did not expect it to open up a door that was very spiritual in nature. Did not expect this at all. That's when I realized how important it was. That's when I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have known this before, because it takes years, guys. You're not going to switch it around in 1 week. You're not, it just, I'm missing something. What am I missing in here? You're not going to, I mean, a journey of what do they say? A journey of 1,000 steps starts with one. At some point you have to start. But that's what I mean. This has to be a habit. Just like eating sugar or taking drugs. Like, you talk to someone, I was talking to this guy, and maybe he's even listening right now. He was a smoker, and he smoked, if I remember correctly, like 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Now, guys, I can't imagine trying to smoke that much. It would make me so sick. I just can't even imagine smoking, not even a pack, right, of cigarettes. Now, it would be really hard, but it was his habit. So once you create a habit, it gets easier. This is what I mean about habits. Like, if you notice my routines, my habit, my routine is, I get up in the morning, I drink my, clean hydrogen water. Then I get up here and I start making this morning breakfast. Like, and some people may be like, oh gosh, like I can't do that every day. Once you get in a routine and a rhythm, which takes time, it takes a good 1 to 3 months to get in a decent routine and make little changes. That was the big thing. Kind of like an addict. It's like, okay, you're not going to tell somebody to stop smoking 3 cigarettes a day. That's probably good, or their 3 packs of cigarettes. It's going to drive them nuts. So what do? Well, why don't I smoke 2.5 packs or something? I don't know, right? And then little by little, you start changing it. And that's what I did. And that's when I realized, like I said, I literally just had this realization the other day. I realized that apparently I was addicted to sugar. Oh, I just realized what I missed. Gosh, that's exactly what I didn't want to do. Okay, we're going to have to figure out how to make it up. See, okay, guys, I'm going to show you a tip today. You're going to learn from my mistakes. But, I finally realized that I think I am officially not addicted to sugar. And I felt that difference. And when I felt it, I was quite surprised. I was like, man, it's like you didn't realize until you were off the sauce, or whatever. Okay, here's one of the magic ingredients we're adding today, minerals. And so I think we have addictions that sometimes we don't even realize we have. Like, it could be silly ones. It could just be addiction to shopping. But once you're done with the addiction and overcome the addiction, this is what I forgot, my hydrogen chia seeds. I'm going to see if I can fit a few in here, and then I'll pour a little bit more in a second. Once you're really off of it, you really realize, gosh, I did have a problem. Okay, we're going to run the blender. It's going to be noisy. Give me a minute. Okay. Let's go dump some compost. And so we got to get our lives back. Now, are most people going to be listening to this? No. But we have people here who care, right? I'm assuming we got 9 people listening or whatever we have in here. And I feel like the answers are actually simpler than we realize. You just have to make the time, which is the hardest thing, right? People don't have enough time. Okay, let's try this one more time. So then that's where discipline comes in. A little more discipline. Water. I need a couple of jars. Really? I thought that's weird. Oh, there they are. I was like, thought I had them already. Okay, here's the jars. We're going to put a little hydrogen water in them, and then we're going to go with the smoothie, and I'll show you the little trick today. So with this. So yeah, anyway, guys, I'm just getting on my soapbox here, but I really do care about the future, and I'd love to see kids healthy and happy and being good to each other and not bullying each other and not being miserable and all this kind of stuff. Sounds pretty good to me. Let's go with that. A few magic ingredients here. Ta-ta. And let's just see what it looks like here. Let's see if it just doesn't blow up in my face here. There we go. Perfect. All right, so this is what I do when I screw something up. So we're going to pour half in here, which is what I normally do. And we only do half because we got to get the nutrients in there. Got to leave some room. But then what I'm going to do, because I didn't put enough of the chia seeds, now that I've poured some out, I'm going to put these in here. Hydrogen chia seeds. They soaked up a bunch of clean hydrogen water. I personally think it helps with the oxalates too, that everybody's concerned with. All right, let's blend that up. Okay. Meanwhile, put the chia seeds back in the fridge and we'll get ready with some nutrients right here. Special minerals. Yep. I know. Okay, here we go. Let's start with, this is the most important one in my opinion right here. And that would be vitamin D3 with K2. Seems like I'm getting a little low on it. Notice I'm not into pills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, that's just about 5 to 6,000 IUs roughly, give or take. Next one, boron, good for the brain, good for ligaments, good for bones, good for sex hormones, just good stuff. And it's ionic. Make sure I always get stuff that's ionic because it's the second best. It's not the best though. What's best? Well, guys, that would be food. And that's the reason that I soak those raisins, because raisins have natural boron in them. Yay. That's what I put in there. Okay, now, chlorophyll. This one, it was just because the companies happened to send me this. But to be honest, I've really been enjoying it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with this. I mean, I'll try different things like this once in a while. But I probably won't do as a regular. I get plenty of greens. The people who don't get enough greens, maybe it'd be important. There's definitely health benefits to it. And again, I like the raw material, not just, I don't like pills. They use binders. Okay, so now that we got that rolling, let's pour the rest of this in there. And that's why I do halfway, because it mixes it up. I got 2 more magic ingredients coming up, and I shall have my morning smoothie, even though I didn't get my purium powder. I know I'm being such a baby about it, but I'm telling you guys, I really, really miss that stuff. I miss my powders. All right, this one for later. Later, Gator. I tend to live off these smoothies. I think that's what helped me with my sugar addiction. I only get sugar from natural fruits and vegetables, which, by the way, makes a complete difference. I've seen the studies on it, so it's already clear as day. And the next ingredient is like a multivitamin all in itself, multi-nutrient, multivitamin, multi-mineral, and that is marijuana. No, I'm just kidding. It's hemp. Hemp hearts, organic. I don't know if you can see the nutritional label on this sucker, but look at all those nutrients. And the ingredients, remember what I told you. Always look at ingredients. Organic shelled hemp seed. There you go. See? Natural, just one ingredient. That's all it is. There's no like, oh, we put an additional high corn fructose corn syrup. Like, why? Just to make it taste a little better. We also added a little salt. We also added a little seed oil, maybe a little canola oil, palm oil, olive oil, coconut oil, whatever. It's like, I don't need any processed oils. Thank you very much. Just give me the raw ingredients. And we got one more ingredient to go, and then we can chit chat a little bit. If you have any questions, I will answer them. Otherwise, I'll hang up. I put in there today. It tastes a little different. Tasting good. Okay, final ingredient. Hydrogen. Why hydrogen? Long list, my friends. Why hydrogen? This stuff is so good for almost everything that it's like, why wouldn't you do it? If you know, like I said, life is short. Might as well be the healthiest you possibly can, and because you can't live life to the fullest, in my opinion, if you're sick. If you can't be walking, if you're in pain, you know, constantly relying on pills that have terrible side effects, yada yada yada. Don't get me on my soapbox about that. Okay, I'm gonna take out this earpiece. Make sure you can hear me. Comment below and let me know if you can. Okay. So, how important is water? Well, I think we went over that. I think we know it's super important. And there's a lot of people who, have a baby or are pregnant and they're like, I love my baby so much, but they don't even realize how important the water is they're drinking. Yep. You got to make sure watching over the body and its health. Now, in my opinion, this is just my experience, yeah, I would have weird experiences when I cleaned up my body. If I got addicted to anything, which I a little bit did, I got addicted to health. I got addicted to happiness. Oh yeah, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Took that earpiece out. Peace out. I just realized I'm literally talking to 8 people and nobody's even saying anything, so I feel silly. They're probably all trolls. They're probably not even actual listeners. Or maybe you guys are, I don't know. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I guess I can let you go. I'm just gonna enjoy my breakfast. Already had my hydrogen water. Now I'm gonna inhale while I have the breakfast, in my opinion, so that I absorb the nutrients better, open up the ghost vessels, get the nutrients in there also, move the blood even better to carry the nutrients all over the place, help with any free radicals, help with the oxalates, any negative side effects. Thank you, Ski Couture. Glad you guys can hear me. And yeah, so that's it, guys, in a nutshell, huh? It's all about quality of life. It's a terrible thing to say, but in my opinion, I would literally give up all my years. Like if I could just have 10 years from starting right now of perfect health, would I do it? Absolutely. Quality over quantity, but usually quality of life leads to longer life too. But yeah, maybe the system doesn't want us living very long, So like, no, we can't afford to give you Social Security forever, even though it's our money, right? What a scam. I know, it's ridiculous. It's darn right upsetting. But, okay, well, I did buy a papaya, which I actually have here. It's not quite ripe yet. I'm gonna be using the seeds to put in a smoothie to make an anti-parasitic smoothie. A lot of my smoothies are already anti-parasitic, just take it to the next level. And I was just looking up some of the health benefits. They have high levels of antioxidants. That's always one of my favorite. That's the reason I also inhale hydrogen. To me, it's the best antioxidant. Lots of vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. Appears to reduce, heart disease because diet's high in antioxidants tend to, which was one of my issues. I had heart disease. It also prevents the oxidation of cholesterol. So that's another good thing, inhaling the hydrogen while I'm having my magic smoothie. When cholesterol oxidizes, it's more likely to create blockages that lead to heart disease. So antioxidants, guys, you know, that's one of the things they use hydrogen for in Japan is for like heart attacks and stuff. So, yep, I will say I'm truly in love with clean water and clean hydrogen and fruits and vegetables. Very, very delicious. Let's see here. Other health benefits of papaya. I don't buy a lot of them though because they're just not from around here, but holy cow, they are high, high, high in vitamin C. Whoa, I didn't realize they were that high. That's crazy. You know, it's so funny, this guy contacted me yesterday. He saw my water video. Yeah, he was just being really nice because I haven't seen him for so many years or talked to him. He's like, dude, what the heck? You look exactly the same. I'm like, no, definitely don't look exactly the same, but appreciate it. But he was being so funny about it. It was very, let's see. Ramona says 55, not me. Not sure exactly what that means. I'm sure it was a response to something I said and I already forgot what it was. Northern Yeti says enjoy. I am Northern Yeti. Today's turned out really good. Protection against heart disease seems to be the biggest thing with papaya. It is high in fiber, which is actually, being high in fiber is good for heart disease too. It has folic acid, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really, I mean, it's all a lot of the good stuff in regards to fruits and vegetables. Oh, it's good for digestion. There you go, because of the enzymes and reduced inflammation, so that's pretty good. Good for the immune system because of the vitamin C. Here's an interesting one. Potentially protects against prostate cancer. Potentially. Kind of like tomatoes, watermelon, and papayas because they're a good source of lycopene. Boy, that's, I'll tell you, prostate cancer is, I mean, it's not the scariest one, but it's scary to me. I know people get it cut out, and I don't want anybody going near that area and cutting anything out. I want to keep all my original parts, like an old classic car. I'll just keep all my original parts, thank you very much. No upgrades. Different with cars though, you can upgrade them. But yeah, let's see, people have allergic reactions, how to eat a papaya. I know how to eat a papaya. All right, well, very cool. All right, guys, well, health is your wealth. I couldn't agree with you more, Karen. That's why, I mean, for me, I can't say this for other people because I know everybody has their situation, but I do invest a lot in it. I mean, obviously I have my carbon distiller, which you can see it's dripping water right now. See, you can hear it kind of dribbling. It takes like 3 to 6 hours to clean 1 gallon of water. And then of course, inhaling the hydrogen. Careful with the papua seeds. Well, I wanted to use a small amount of them. My understanding is they're anti-parasitic. Let's see. Papaya seeds. Let's see. Papaya seeds. Oh boy. Wow. Apparently, I didn't even know that the seeds have antioxidants. So the seeds also have a powerful antioxidant. It's rich in polyphenols, flavonoids, alkaloids, tannins, saponins. I don't even know what that is. Good for your gut health, good for weight loss, good for your cholesterol levels, anti-cancerous properties, nephroprotective. Nephro, not neuro, but nephro. What is nephro? Okay, let's look that up. What is nephro? Protective. Nephro, it's an agent and a material that has a potential to minimize the effects of nephrotoxic agents. Like what? Medicinal plants have curative properties due to the presence of various complex chemical substances. Yeah, but what does nephroprotective mean? Oh, protects the kidneys from harm. Look at that. Learn something every day. Protects kidneys. Interesting. Interesting. So nephrotoxicity is defined as the rapid deterioration of the kidney function due to toxic effects of medications and chemicals. There's many drugs that do this, blah, 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 blah. The seeds, the papaya seeds, have a protective effect against these type of things. You know, I've also seen that hydrogen has a huge protective effect. That's why I'm so, that's why I inhale it even while I eat. I mean, what if there's something in here? Obviously, it's all organic. I do the best I can, cleanest water, everything. But what if there happens to be a little pesticide? What about some of the oxalates? You know, I'm trying to protect myself. Well, that's why I inhale some while I eat. Reduces inflammation, maintains cardiovascular health, yada, yada, yada. So the seeds, I gotta say, the seeds almost seem seem healthier than the papaya itself. Interesting. Okay, okay. Papaya seeds, yep. But I want to use papaya seeds for different reasons. Let's see, papaya. Papaya, not a funny word, papaya. Paella. Papaya seeds for parasites. Let's see here. National Institute of Health. Let's see what they got to say about this. This is PubMed. So this is usually pretty decent info. Gotta say, this smoothie turned really good today. Okay, papaya seeds. Effectiveness of dried papaya seeds for human intestinal parasitosis. A pilot study. Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing, oh, this is long. Okay, hold on. Let's see, tropical fruit, blah, blah, blah. I just want to see that it work. Papaya with standard anti-parasitic preparation are desirous. Can it help with parasites? Do you really need to worry about parasites? In my opinion, absolutely. Do you guys know they test kids for parasites in Japan in their schools? I believe they do it every year. Okay, let's see here. First, what is a parasite and does it cause any symptoms? A lot of times you won't notice, and even when you're sick, you don't even notice that it's parasitic. It could just be inflammation, you get some pains. Hydrogen has had some interesting data in regards to being anti-parasitic. Most parasites are food or waterborne. One of the reasons that I clean my water. Clearly. Well water is a huge source of Giardia. See, this is, people always tell me, oh, I got well water, it's great. I'm like, you make sure to clean your well water. Just because it's well water doesn't mean it's safer. Most of the studies I've seen is that well water is actually worse. Let's see. And the symptoms of parasites, super non-specific. See, it could be abdominal pain, chronic diarrhea, it could be nausea, it could be vomiting, it could be unexplained weight loss. It could be, you know, just pains in different areas, who knows? In my opinion, the two most important things that doctors don't look for when people have an issue is nutritional deficiencies and parasitic infections. That's what I do, though. Always try to resolve those issues that way. Okay. Do papaya seeds actually good for parasites? Let's read that, but let me grab just a little bit more smoothie. Mm, I don't know what it is about today's smoothie. It's tasting pretty good. What the heck did I put in this? It's something. It was 2 bananas and the raisins, probably. Okay. Papayas have been used for centuries in folk medicine. Good for your skin, flesh, blah, 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 whatever. Let's see. What is the science behind it? There was a pilot study in '07 who had clear evidence of parasites, basically. The ones who drank the elixir, which had dry papaya seeds, were much more likely to clear out the parasites than the ones who received the placebo. So it did make a big difference. That's also why I recommend something called food grade diatomaceous earth. And of course, like with anything, you don't want too much Ramona. Everything within reason. I use very little because I do know they're very powerful. Let's see. You're not going to be able to really see it in your bowel movements. It's mostly through you testing fecal matter. You need to have an expert identify it. So, yes, they do appear to be anti-parasitic. It's not smart to self-diagnose parasites. Gosh, I got some stories for you. Because I don't know if I told you guys that I worked in the medical field for 2 decades. And let me tell you some of the scariest stories that I've ever heard. And I heard it often. Well, semi-often. People would come in because they're like, I'm sitting on the toilet and it feels like something comes out about this far and then goes back in. We're talking big worm person. Like these were big issues, but when you combine a lot of sugar, a lot of meat, and obviously breads and carbs, I mean, you were building a perfect environment for these things. Yeast, fungus. Oh, it's scary what can be growing inside of you guys. That's all I can say about that. So scary. And I had multiple patients who would come in that way with this thing that would come out of them. And I always used to think, like, what if you grabbed onto it? It's funny, you know what's funny about this story? I don't think I have the book near me. Thought I did. Oh, I do have it near me. This is kind of weird. I should probably not even bring it up again. But in this book, there's an interesting story. There's a lot of stories in this interesting book. And there are stories of supposedly, well, I don't even need to say who it was, but the point is there's a guy. I'll just say there was a guy. And he'd go around trying to help people heal. See, he would go and try to help the sick. And this guy over here, but he'd always have like another guy with him or maybe 2. And here's like all the crowds of people who were wanting to be healed. Funny story in here, he would have them do a lot of fasting. And he did this one thing one time where somebody was just so sick and starving because he's sick, but he's doing the fasting and he's so crazy weak, works than everybody else. And the healer, brought a bowl of fresh milk, put it in the sun on a rock, and let it heat up. And as the vapor started coming off of it, he took it to the sick man and he put it up to his nose. And the man could start smelling it. And the guy was like sick, so his mouth was open like this. And that thing that came out of people's rear end, well, they describe in this book, starts coming out of the guy's mouth, this like worm or whatever, guys. It sounded so creepy. And he grabbed it, yanked it out of this guy, took a rock, and killed it. And that's just one of the many wacky stories. Because, to be honest, a lot of these things in this book I've experienced. That's why it's so weird. That's why I'm so blown away by this book. This little tiny book really has blown my mind. And I've used a lot of my techniques from this book for creating my protocols and stuff. Modifying stuff. I read the science. I read books. I go off my gut instincts, what makes sense. I've just created this whole thing, and I can't even believe that that's the direction my life went, because that was never my interest, never my forte, but really surprised how well it's worked. Worms and parasites, guys. Creepy. Very, very creepy. Well, okay then, guys. I think we're good for today. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all your questions, comments, criticisms. And I'll see you guys next time on the next one.